Hello folks, I just wanted to do a quick video just to give you an update in Canada and what is going on. My boy Choco Millionaire did a video recently, and he was kind of emphasizing on what is happening in Canada in terms of the current news that our Minister of Housing and Infrastructure just announced, Mr. Sean Frazer. And he was also the Minister for Immigration not long ago, but recently Trudeau reshuffled his cabinet and he moved him into housing and infrastructure stream. So basically he made an announcement on August 21st, which is about 2 days ago, and one of the announcements surrounding international student cap in Canada. So what does this mean to anyone that would like to travel to Canada in the near future as an international student? As we know, Canada is the third largest country that welcomes international students behind United States, United Kingdom, and then Canada is third. Overall, Canada actually fetching about 15 billion US dollars a year hosting international students and also bringing them in. So this is a very lucrative business for the Canadian government over the years. And as we all know, Canada is one of the most attractive nations in the world in terms of safety and everything that you can name of. So what is actually happening is that Canada overall used to welcome about 100,000 students every year, and the numbers kind of creeped up to about 200,000. And in the last few years or so, the numbers has actually gone up all the way to about 500,000, 600,000. And this past year, 2022, the numbers actually jumped to 800,000 students the Canada government welcome in Canada. So on one hand, it's a very, very good news, because most of these students are very, very young and they contribute to the Canadian economy very significantly. And if you look at the way Canada has built its culture and its economy and the labor force, it relies on a lot of immigrants, especially the young people who are very intellectual in IT, marketing, business, and all sort of stuff. So this is the strategy Canada has used for many, many, many years, and it has worked for them. So in alignment with the labor shortages in Canada recently, the Trudeau government announced that they are going to be welcoming about 1.5 million people in the next 4 to 5 years, which is also good news. And the bulk of these students, or the bulk of these numbers, were based on international students. And that's why I've mentioned that in the last year, 2022, the government actually welcomed over 800,000 international students. And majority of these students, I would say about 1/5 to 2/4 is from India, the most population. And it's quite amazing though, because on one hand, you're trying to fulfill the labor force by bringing most people, intellectual people from all across the globe. And on the other side, you also have to make sure that they're getting the proper orientation and the proper settlements. So this is the dilemma that the Trudeau government kind of faces. And in terms of planning, let's actually lay out what was the plan before all this immigration boom the Trudeau government actually instituted. The planning was that in the next decade, we're supposed to build about 1 million homes to actually meet these demands. And if you ask me now as a Canadian citizen, how many of this project was actually completed, I would definitely tell you that it wasn't even 1/3 completed. 200,000 homes has not even been built yet. So you can actually imagine adding such a tremendous amount of population or numbers to the Canadian population is good news, but on the other side, it can actually tilt the balance of inequality. And I'm a citizen of Canada. I always praise Canada. But right now, things are not really looking on the uphill, because there's a lot of people that are not finding a regular job that actually a Canadians could have got in a couple of months ago. So a lot of these students coming in, some of them depends on part-time jobs to actually pay their school fees and their tuition and so forth. But right now, with the shape of the economy, it's not really doing well. So most of these students, when they come in, it becomes very, very hard for them to actually pay for their school fees and the tuition and a lot of these things. And I think the main culprit in all this is the housing market, housing. Because anywhere you go, you gotta find a place to live. And Canada, as we know, most people like to come to Ontario, the province that has the most population in Canada. So because everybody wants to make Toronto a new destination or their new home, that also has put a lot of upward pressure on the Canadian housing market. As we speak now, there are major metropolitans in Ontario, which is Brampton, Mississauga, Toronto, the Oshawas, Ajax, and all these different places. But because all these numbers of population is coming to Ontario in particular, the housing market is quite steep now. And as an individual, for example, if you want to rent a one-bedroom Toronto apartment, that can cost you for about $2,500 and up, just one bedroom, just to lay your head. So imagine as an international student, you're coming in paying about $17,000 to $24,000 tuition, and on top of that, you also have to accumulate this amount of renting. That's not even possible. So what most people are doing is that if they have a family member somewhere, they might probably stay with them. And a lot of people are also bundling, meaning that if they have a friend, they'll rather share the same accommodation with them just to save some money. So these are some of the strategies that individuals are using. But on the other side, the Canadians that have lived here for quite a long time, they are also feeling the pressure because now they also have to compete with these new international students and all the foreigners that are coming into the country. And even making the matter even worse is you also have people, not just international students, but people that have a visitor's visa and other tourist visa and other things that are actually also coming to Canada. So you can actually imagine the pressure. And also you have the war in Ukraine and Russia. People are also fleeing from these countries. So Canada as a home has welcomed all these individuals, and now the citizens of Canada are feeling the pressure. When they go to the store, there's either a lineup or they can't even find accommodation themselves. And the landlords are also sort of taking advantage in most of these situations, and they're also raising the rent very, very high. So right now, this is the current situation in Canada. So let's find some solution to this problem. I know Choco Melonia gave quite a bit of interesting take on this one in terms of how we can find accommodation for these individuals, like accommodation at the student residence, which is one of them, but he also spoke that this is a quite expensive measure to take. So one of the solutions that I've really come across and I've already thought about is that right now with the people working from home, there's a lot of offices that are actually vacant as we speak. There's a lot of places where they were meant for commercial. These places are all at a vacant state now. So me as a government, or if anybody that really want to take advantage, I think most of these commercial areas can actually be converted into sort of residential areas where they can actually bundle people in these areas, especially if you're an international student. For example, if it's a Humber College and there's a place that is nearby, they can actually turn these commercial places into an affordable rental places where there could be some sort of a shuttle bus or any buses to actually take these students to these schools. I think this is one of the best solutions at the moment. Even if the government goes ahead and builds this 1 million homes that he has talked or promised, it's not going to solve the problem because people that are coming in is not still going to be able to afford it. With the mortgage rate so high, I don't think there's any way around this. So if you are international students that you are coming in, make sure that you have prepared yourself. At the minimum, have about 3-4 months rent with you. At least budget for about $1,000 rent a month Canadian. So if you have about $4,000 or $5,000 Canadian, that can weather the storm for about 5 months or so. And with that, hopefully you'll be able to get a job or part-time job on campus. Or when things get a little bit better, you'll be able to afford a place. So I think in a nutshell, my advice for you is that don't just pack your bag and have $100 US or Canadian in your pocket and show up in Canada. You're gonna be stranded. You definitely have to prepare. The winter is coming and it's gonna be really, really hectic. So you need a lot of items on you to make sure you survive in this country. This video is way long overdue. So today I just came for a bit of just to grab a couple of items. So I say, you know what, let me just do a quick video at this mall just to showcase to you the reality in Canada at the moment as we speak. So I hope you actually enjoy this video. You share this video with people and let them know that this is the reality in Canada as we speak. It's not gonna get easy. The citizens are struggling, international students are struggling, visitors are struggling, and everybody else is struggling in Canada as we speak. But as I know, there's always two sides to every coin, and there's always two devils that you can choose from. Either you choose the lesser evil or the heavier evil. So as bad as Canada might not be, or bad as Canada might be at the moment, I still believe that things are gonna turn around at a very rapid situation. So if you're an immigrant or a student, I would advise you to definitely hang on. There are better days ahead, and this is not the end. So definitely buckle yourself, spend the next 5 months having your rent ready, and then definitely when things pick up, you're gonna be in a better position. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's your boy KB, and welcome to Canada.